Hearty welcome and salutations to wonderful beings, expressions of divinity, wonderfully evolving souls. How delightful it is every day to spend some time with you in an effort to unfold the guidances that are given for evolution in our most divine sacred Shastras. Let us ourselves of our 11 Vyaktitvas to be created, strengthened, established in Vyaktitva of Lokaseva, Dharma Samstapana, Viragitva, Shishyatva, Bhaktatva, Jignasutva, Mumukshutva, Shrotrutva, Sadhakatva. And then the person of efforts, person of dynamism. Very conspicuously, clearly, let us visualize Shruti Mata in our hearts in the form of Shruti Smriti Purana Itihasa. Ask her continue to bless us with the wisdom. Equally clearly, let us visualize the presence of the Guru Tattva, Guru Parampara, Swaguru and our Acharyas in our heart. Pray to them, salute to them, ask them to continue revealing the Shastra Jnana to us along with the Marga and the preparation. Let us bring into our hearts and cognize the presence of all Adhisthana Devatas. Express the gratitude, pray to them, ask them, and let them empower all our faculties all the time. So to remember the Mother, Adi Parashakti Mata, most ardently, let us request or ask her, keep us always in the Shuddha Sattva Guna mood, which is conducive for spiritual learning, spiritual practices, spiritual growths. Then bring the Ishvara, the Ishtadevata. Pray to him, ask him that let this curtain of outer illusion, inner delusion be removed, and let there be the Sakshatkara of the Sadvastu and the Moksha Prapti. Let us remember the Parabrahma Tattva, Sachidananda Tattva. Tune to that with the Anusandhanam that I am that, I am that, I am that. And let the thought that I want to realize, I will realize, I will do anything for that. May the truth be revealed to me. With these prayers, let us remember the truth. Welcome all for the effort of studying Shwethashwathara Upanishad of Krishna Yajurveda Pratamodhyaya Sambandha Bhashyam from Yagnavalkya Smriti, the references and quotes regarding the connection between necessity of clear understanding of relation between the karma and jnana as a means for the moksha. This is a subject under scrutinization for our clear intellectual apprehension so that we are able to pursue unhesitatingly and reach out undoubtedly. Before we continue, we do our sankalpa and all. Before that, a 2 minutes of discussion is like we do every day. Today's is what? What we discussed today. Three levels of life. No spirituality life. Superficial spirituality life. Deep spiritual life. What is no spiritual life? We know. Where the bandha, the jiva, the people are involved only in the artha and kama, maybe little dharma. Like the pashu, they do their dharma. Pakshi of bringing up their children. And they have the artha for survival, food required. Kama, the natural instinct of survival of the progeny. Other than that, they don't do anything. Such type of no spiritual living. Not very healthy, especially as human beings. The second spiritual level is the superficial spirituality, where we are all now. That also is very less helpful. We can't say that it is absolutely useless, but you can't even say also that it is of the greatest help. The superficial spirituality is not taking anything into the heart, not ourselves going into the heart, not understanding anything heartily, not doing anything heartily. Therefore, in the heart, there is Jiva, the Kama Krodhi, the Samsari only is there, not the deep sadhaka. That is superficial spirituality, where the things are done in a routine manner, in a mechanical manner. After a certain time, I do everything, but in that I myself miss. मैं पूजा कर रहा हूँ लेकिन मैं पुजारी हूँ नहीं वहाँ. I am doing japa, but the japaist is not there. Bus going on. From this, we have to come to the deep spiritual level for the deepest sadhana and the deepest experience. No other way. Do we want or not? Then for that, only the three things we have to do. One is deeply think and contemplate about the limitations and binding effects of outer worldly involvements and happenings. It is a necessary step. What exactly is the world phenomena going on? Hmm? My involvement in that world, what is it fetching to me? What exactly is happening? How much worthy it is of to be given importance? If this thinking very deeply doesn't happen, we get enchanted with the delusion. We deeply involve in our outer vyavahara. Our spirituality is left behind very superficial. To withdraw from the world, deeply we have to analyze. Means what everything what we are doing outside, उसका मायना क्या है, महत्व क्या है? Isn't it? The bhogas I involve in, the projects I take up and involve in, the things and beings I establish a relation with, and my interactions with them. What exactly is done there? What substantial thing is gained there? We have to deeply think and discover that all what we are doing nonsense only. Sri Rama is teaching us that in the evening Yoga Vasishta class. That cannot, this cannot be taught from outside. One has to discover from within. You know, when we do that, the final deepest understanding of this thinking is other than for survival and for surviving whatever minimum required, the entire outer world has no importance and meaning unless I give out of delusion. If we have come to that great level, our thinking has become very deep. Survival value only the world should have for us. Any other thing is delusory entanglements. Deeply. It's a great, great thought if one can understand it. Then deeply we have to do the thinking contemplation about again the limitation of our upadhis, sharira, its limitations, and when we identify with it, the bondage we get. We have to deeply think. We can't be any more superficial for the deeper experiences. So contemplate deeply on honestly the limitations of sharira, prana, indriya, mana, and buddhi, even the aham. They have to be taken into confidence one by one. तुम कौन हो? तुम्हारी महिमा क्या है? तुम्हारा औकात क्या है? You know, in that Keno Upanishad, when the Yaksha appeared, all devatas, atha Agnimambruvan, Jataveta etadvijanihi kimetadyakshameti tadveti tadabhyadravat tamabhyavadat. Oh, that Agni ran to Yaksha as if, ye kar dunga, wo kar dunga. Who are you? That Yaksha asked. Agnirvaham asmiti, Jataveta vaham asmiti. Tasmin tvai kim viryam. What is the power in you? Avidagam sarvam daheyam yadidam prithivyam. I burn everything in this world, on the earth. Tasmai trunam nidadau. That yaksha put a blade of grass. Etad daheti. अब इसको जला के दिखाओ. Blade of grass. तृणम निदधौ तदुपप्रियाय सर्वजीवेन तन्नशाशाक न शशाक दग्धुम. So tata eva nivavrute naitadakshakam yadeta vignatum yadeta. He tried to burn that blade of grass by all his powers. He could not. He ran, डर गया. पता नहीं यक्ष ने क्या जादू डाला. I could not burn it all. So the Agni, which is the burner of the whole world, has zero power to burn even a blade of grass by its own independent effort without God's grace. And the story was so beautiful there. Then they sent Vayu, then Indra and Yaksha and all. Parvati Mata comes, etc. Here also, take this Sharira. What is it? Oh no? Yesterday we chanted in Viveka Chudamani, the Sharira Sthiti. And nowadays in Yoga system, we are studying also. Taking them as reference, now confidentially let us focus keenly and vast way about this Sharira. First, what it contains. Thereafter, when we identify with it, how much percent of sukha it is giving, how much percent of the heavy workload and dukha it is giving, परिश्रम, ये हमको सोचना पड़ता है. Then only the sharira upadhis glory is understood to be zero, not there. Then only the feeling that let me not identify with it will arise. In the same way, pranamaya kosha shakti, mana, buddhi, क्या है इनका औकात, क्या इससे हमको मिल रहा है, isn't it? Taking it to direct point, not only they are all incapable of giving us moksha, but holding on to them, they give us only the bandhanam. This is the crux understanding we have to have. Like in the outer world, we saw mm, only value of survival we have in about for the world. World includes things and beings. Beings include our relations. In that value of survival, we our dharma to do. That's it. Wives, children are there. Take care of them. That's it. So to here also, they are all liabilities only, not assets. They are bondages. So then only the thought of detaching from these upadhis, which is very essential. See, these things are not deep in us, very superficial. That's why our all sadhanas are so superficial. कि नाम के वास्ते they are being done. They are not bringing any depth in our sadhana, depth in our experience, depth of any transformation. Not happening. जैसे थे वैसे ही पढ़े हम अभी तक. कोई भी साधना का 1 इंच मिलीमीटर भी आगे नहीं बढ़े हम. Because these things are eating away our mind, our attention. All our minds, thoughts, worries are about these only. See that story yesterday. चित्त कैसा परेशान हो होकर तबाह हो जाता है because it is involved in the attachment for the sharira bhoga. Yesterday we saw, day before we saw in Yoga Vasishta Ramayana. What do we do generally whole day? Only for the catering of the upadhis, only for obtaining the things of the world. Such person, how can he be spiritual deeply? We have to necessarily do it. Every upadhi has to be taken into confidence. What are its limitations, capacities, wrong uses, right uses. Then comes the third one, to deeply study the Vedanta Shastra and recognize the glory of that state of infinite being, the blissful self. Deeply, if we don't apprehend the Parabrahma Tattva, the Atma Tattva, with all its glories, deeply, it calls for very rigorous Shastra Adhyanam and Vicharana. Only when we understand the truth, that the truth alone is the truth, and that it alone is infinite, it alone is blissful. Reaching to that alone is freedom from all limitations, bondages. If this thought doesn't occur very deeply, our meditations will never be there. Even if they are there, they are not regular. Even if you do regularly, the depth will not come. What stage of evolution we have to come is the moment we decide to do meditation, we should be able to sit in a moment's notice, withdraw from the upadhis, and should revel in the inner deep self. Now, what it is, even to get a thought desire that I must do dhyana is a क्या कहते हैं ना, once in a blue moon की तरह. Where is a thought deep in us कि मैं ध्यान करूं, डीपली ध्यान करूं, सारे उपाधियों को पार करूं, परमात्मा को पाऊं. These are teacher and shastras are shoutingly telling us, but we are not listening. है ना, भैंस के सामने बीन बजाना. Because we have not taken this aspect for contemplation, inquiry, and discovered that the discovery of the self is so beautiful, so blissful, so glorious. ये नहीं आया डेप्थ, फिर उसको पाने वाले साधनाएं डेप्थ में नहीं होंगे. So to the earlier two things, if the upadhi limitations and the worldly limitations are not understood, accepted, we cannot keep them away. When we don't keep them away, then we keep them with us. When they are with us, we think about them only. कोई गेस्ट को आप घर बुलाए तो उसी के बारे में सोचना पड़ता है. So too, when we have value for the world and the upadhis, all our manovrittis are only for the upadhis and for the world. We can never have thinking about the Paramatma Tattva, isn't it? So all the three we have to take into confidence, spend some days, months in that serious contemplation. Out of that only precipitates the rejection of the world and worldly life, acceptance of the true spiritual life. Such one now is mindful of his own inner equipments, their calmness, quietness, subtlety, single mindedness, how to gain it. Once gained, that is utilized only in doing the inquiry about Atma Tattva as told by the Upanishads. He will be busily engaged in that all through the day till the truth is realized. The deep involvement in sadhana is a necessary thing for the deep experiences. Now, the ball is in our court, information is given how we become matured or show our maturity by taking this seriously, sincerely, and truly involved in these three inquiries and ruthlessly decide for ourselves that I reject everything else, I take up only sadhana. And that conviction has to be so strong that every sacrifice we should be ready to do. Every hard work we should be ready to do. Isn't it? वो फिर वो पूरा अलग दुनिया है. Where we see to it that the upadhis are no more troubling me, liability to me. एक एक उपाधि को फिर सीधा करके साइड पे रखना पड़ता है. तुम चुप वहां बैठो, डोंट डिस्टर्ब me वाला. Finally, only intellect is used for the chintana of the tattva. When that tattva chintana gives clear understanding of the atma tattva, our intellectual exercise also not required. Just by doing Vyatireka sadhana or the anatma, anvaya of the atman, we have to go on doing. It's a very deep internal process. In that effort only, we can go deep, subtler, 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 and touch the core of the substratum for everything. So let us pray, let us try ourselves to shift from no spiritual life to super spiritual life to deep spiritual life. Whatever helps us in inspiring us in this is correct. Best thing is remember the great Rishi Muni Mahatmas, their state of inner experience. They were also ordinary once upon a time. They worked upon and they reached to those spiritual heights. Let me also be like that. No, the example of the great sadhakas, great Rishi Muni, you know, will inspire us. And another caution is always be in this mood, in this zone only. Need not come out of it, should not come out of it. Coming out of this zone and mood of spirituality means coming to the upadhi, through the upadhi to the worldly level. When dharma, artha, kama become important, moksha, purushartha again is diluted. इसमें आना ही नहीं चाहिए हम. Like that scientist is always in the mood of scientific investigation. He has to focus, concentrate so much. Even the sipping of that cup of coffee or tea, at that time also is in that mood only inquiring about his researching point. He never comes out. Children talk, wife talks, half sentence answer he gives them freedom. He doesn't come to the mood that no, I am the father, I have to take care of them. Then you can't do scientific inquiry as a father. Isn't it? All things he keeps away. No, like a sports person. Even he'll have to play that sport at the ground. What about all his other identities, entanglements, relativities? He will not allow himself to go into that mood. He may have 10 businesses otherwise. But वो क्रीड़ा क्षेत्र में he is only in that mood. In the same way, maintaining spiritual mood at every cost and price is the first thing, after which these three things are done. Then, because of the limitations understood of entire things about the world, we are able to keep it away. Because of the limitations understood of the Upadhi Tadatmya is not appreciated anymore. Because the glory of the self is thoroughly understood and accepted, the pursuit for discovering that self becomes really, sincere, serious, and regular. Such one alone can reach to the deep experience. May it happen to all of us very soon. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsha Rishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah. Om Yerime Gurubhi Purvam Padavakya Pramanatah व्याख्याताः सर्व वेदान्ताः योगाः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ॐ श्रुतिस्मृति ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् ॐ सुकृतेऽधिकृते बहुधा भवतो भविता समदर्शनलालसता अतिदीनमिमं परिपालय मां भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलम् अचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः श्री श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोध अस्मिन् क्षणे प्राप्ति मोक्षप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् सनातनधर्म संस्थापने कङ्कणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां पूर्णायुरारोग्यादि क्षेमस्थैर्यधैर्यवीर्यादि शक्ति साधना संपदा सानुकूल्यादि बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे मत श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषद आद्य शंकर कृत मंगलाचरण श्लोकम ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारमव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहं प्रथमोऽध्यायः शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ अथ सम्बन्धभाष्यं yesterday we have seen कर्तव्यापा कर्तव्याशयशुद्धिस्तु भिक्षुकेण विशेषतः ज्ञानोत्पत्तिनिमित्तत्वात् स्वतन्त्रीकरणाय च So by Bhikshuka and all the sadhakas, the Ashaya Shuddhikarana is Kartavya. It's a must. Because Jnana Utpatti Nimitta, that Shuddha Antakarana alone is the way means for the obtaining of the Tattva Jnana, Atma Jnana, theoretical, practical, experiential. Only in that Tattva Jnana Anubhuti there is Swatantrikaranata, means total liberation, freedom from all limitations and bondages. Very categorical, unambiguous. Then example he gave. मलिनो हि यथादर्शः रूपालोकस्य न क्षमः. When the mirror is full of dirt and dust, it is not capable of reflecting our face for us to see. तथा विपक्वकर्णः आत्मज्ञानस्य न क्षमः. Same way, the one whose antakarana has not become vipakva, fully pure, fully matured, atmajnanasya na kshamah, that antakarana yukta vyakti, he will not have capacity to have the atmajnana, theoretical siddhanta, practical sadhana, experiential अनुभूति. न सिद्धांत ज्ञान उनको मिलेगा, न साधना उनसे हो पाएगा, न अनुभव उनको मिलेगा जिनका अंतःकरण अविपक्व है. यतन्तः भी अकृतात्मानः न एनं पश्यन्ति अचेतसः. 9th chapter में अश्रद्धानाः पुरुषाः धर्मस्यास्य वरन्दव अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसार वर्तवरि. Each chapter में a different way it is said. In Ishavasya, it is said, Asurya namate loka andina tamasavrta tagamste prete avigachanti ekecha atmahano janaha. In Kata Upanishad, नाविरतो दुश्चरितात् नाशान्तो नासमाहितः नाशान्तो मानसा वापि प्रज्ञानेनैनम् आप्नुयात्. So many Upanishads and all. Here also, simple avipakva karana atmajnanasya na kshamah. An individual whose antakarana has not become with visheshena pakva. Pakana means purely, it has become absolutely pure, freed from everything of the worldliness. Shanta ekagra. He is not capable of. His mind will not cooperate him to go even to listen or study the Upanishads which talk about the Atma Vastu. Then when will he understand? When will he desire? When will he with effort know what is the sadhana? When will he do sadhana? And when will he get the result? And who is he? That is we only. So if I am avipakva karanaha, I am not kshamaha, capable of atma jnana. That means I am not capable of getting moksha. Means I will be bound. Therefore, need of the antakarana shuddhi. Same thing said in different language in Yoga Darshana under the heading, subheading of Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga is nothing but antakarana shuddhi karana only, isn't it? Making the karana vipakva. Yamani Vasan Prana Pratyara, the Bahiranga Sadhana, Dharana Dhyana Sadhana, Antaranga Sadhana. Finally, where did we reach? Sanyamastiti. Sanyamastiti of mana is equal to Vibhakva Karana. Perfectly matured Antakarana. Suitable fit one. Glimpses of Siddhis and Vibhutis are told only to show the power of it. In Yoga Darshana, what we are studying nowadays after this class. So tata avipakva karanaha atmajnanasya na kshamaha. Okay. Now, after this being said, one by one, Shri Yagnavalkya Rishi, in his Yagnavalkya Smriti, started giving us sadhanas step by step. Every one of them are so very important for us to deeply understand their need and significance and deeply do with full involvement. The joy of life is in full, all in all involvement in everything, but we are talking here spiritual life. इसमें पूरी तरह से डूबना चाहिए तभी आकर मजा आए. Even here also we are very very superficial. That being superficial is childlikeness. Being deep and sincere is the maturity. We have to long for it. We have to ask for it. We have to try for it, and we have to get it. One by one obstacles we have to remove, which make our spiritual life zero or superficial, and we have to involve in those which make our spiritual life very deep. This class attending is the beginning for it, which gives information inspiration. Taking that information inspiration, studying for hours together, contemplating hours together. This called the deep and mature sadhana. But उसके लिए थोड़ा थोड़ा ऐड करते रहना पड़ेगा. That's why before that we said, understand deeply about the world and worldly informants and their limitations. Understand deeply the limitation of upadhi. They are necessary so that they are kept away. Then through practice we become deep in our spiritual sadhanas. साधना ऊपर ऊपर है, लाइक संगीत साधना. अब ऊपर ऊपर कर रहे हैं हफ्ते के एक दिन. Then 20 years you will not even learn Sarigama Padanis. Isn't it? Car learning, driving. Superficial है. तो 20 साल 10 साल he will only be able to drive within the ground. He can't be on the road. The swimming. Superficial है, only in the swimming pool he can swim, not in any. है ना. कुकिंग सुपरफिशियल, यू ओनली नो हाउ टू मेक मैगी एंड ऑल. उसको बनाना नहीं पड़ता, खुद बन जाता है. एवरीवेयर इन मेकिंग फ्रेंड्स वी आर सुपरफिशियल. एक आध लोग जिंदगी रहेंगे या ना रहेंगे, बट वी डीपली इन्वॉल्व, यू मेक हंड्रेड्स ऑफ पीपल एज योर फ्रेंड्स. सो टू योर प्रोफेशनल मनी अर्निंग नेम एंड फेम, कुछ भी हो या ऊपर ऊपर करो तो ऊपर ऊपर ही रहता हो. डीपली करो तो डीपली मिलता है फल. क्लियर. Now, what are the sadhanas? Yagnavalkya Rishi is giving us, we have seen 2 or 3 shlokas yesterday. We'll just browse through them and feel within us, okay, did we start that sadhana at all? If yes, how deeply we are doing. Okay, श्लोक पढ़ेंगे, एक्सप्लेन करेंगे. नारायण. ओम आचार्योपासनं वेद शास्त्रार्थस्य विवेकिता सत्कर्मणामनुष्ठानं संगः सद्भिः गिरः शुभाः. How many sadhanas are told in that? Acharyopasanam, Vedasastrarthasya vivekita, Satkarmanam anushtanam, Sangaha sadvihi, Giraha shubhaha. 5 sadhanas are told. Now take each one. We have discussed. We will not go detailedly. बस mention करते हैं. आचार्य उपासना. How much we have developed our Shraddha Bhakti to our Gurus and Acharyas and are regularly approaching them. Upasana means approach. So from Upasana, approchu, the English word has come. Outside we have to approach and listen from him, understand and do it. Inside also we have to keep him with respect and reverence, taking guidance from him, inspiration from him, fear of him. We have to do our inner sadhana. This is called as Acharya Upasana. More details each one know because we have studied this topic plenty of times in other texts. Because Acharya is who? Achinoti Shastrartham. He studies Shastrartha deeply. He tells us deeply and makes us understand deeply. Then he himself does the sadhana and he makes us do. He is called as Acharya. Upasana. Upasana means be in the confidence of him, like the Pandavas were in the Upasana of the Dronacharya. Therefore, all the archery they were taught by him. They were always busy in the Acharya Upasana. It's required. Any vidya we learn, whichever Acharya we learn it from, उनका उपासना करना होता है. Upasana is not washing feet and all. Being with him, serving him, doing whatever he says as his seva or for our sadhana, then get mastery in that. That is upasana. Like Duryodhana did to Balarama. बढ़िया उपासना किया उन्होंने. इसलिए बलराम जी taught him the entire Gada Vidya. He is his own disciple therefore. And yeah, Arjuna also his own brother's brother-in-law and his cousin only. So he cannot fight in any party. Therefore, he went away to Tirtha during Kurukshetra Yuddha. Balarama did not participate, did not take any part because Shishya hai wo to. And he learned Upasana karke. He followed all the rules. Otherwise, Balarama would have kicked him away. I will not teach you. You know, if you are learning electrical engineering, that electrical acharya, upasana. Mechanical engineering, upasana. You know, the chartered accountancy में होता है आजकल उपासना. The assistants, even junior lawyers, junior doctors, उपासना करना होता है. यहाँ पे spiritual acharya upasana. So superficial only we explained, but 5-10% explain किया. But feel. First of all, did we have any acharya or we think we only are the acharya and guru? We have to select one. Do upasana. हाँ, डजेंट मैटर. देखो, जब लक्ष्य मुख्य होता है ना, गो टू हरिद्वार, ऋषिकेश और उत्तरकाशी और मथुरा वृंदावन और इन्हीं बद्रीनाथ, इतने सारे संत महात्मा हैं. अब किसी को आचार्य मानो, करो साधना, उत्तर जाओ. Isn't it? If you have inner bhakti, upasana, shakti, any acharya can guide you. If you search, you get, like Vivekananda ji searched. He found. Understood? We have to search for our acharya, go do the upasana. Details work out. Now, second one, Veda Shastrarthasya Vivekita. From that acharya, Veda Shastra Arthasya Vivekita. This is very deep. That's what we were talking in the introduction also. The Veda Shastra का अर्थ का पूरी तरह विवेक से डीपली समझना है. Veda Shastra Artha does what? It gives us the first of all knowledge of how to obtain all the four purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Thereafter, it tells us artha, kama, purusharthas limitations, and it tells us to be continuous in dharma purushartha, and then it tells us to as the glory of the moksha purushartha, and it inspires us to go for it. These are what the shastras do. An acharya should teach the disciple like this. बेटा अल्टीमेट मोक्ष करना ही पड़ेगा. Straight away if you cannot do because of the inner pressures of vasana and prarabdha, go through your life of grahastha ashram and all, but finally go for the truth. So all these things which are there in the Veda, the acharya teaches and disciples should learn. Veda shastra arthasya vivekita. Okay. Third one, satkarmanam anushtanam. Satkarma anushtan, not dushkarma. And unambiguously, the four satkarmas are: one is our own swadharma anushtana, second is loka seva, third is that itself we can call it as punya, second is that, third is daiva upasana, fourth one is the yagna yaga. ये चारों सत्कर्म अनुष्ठान अनुष्ठान के रूप में करना है. That will give us the Antakarana Shuddhi. Satkarmanam Anushtanam. Okay. Then fourth one is Sangaha Sadbihi. Always be in the company of the Sat. Sat can be a book which you study every day, a good picture of the God whom you talk to every day, a good friend who is also spiritual like you, likes the spiritual topics to be discussed. And then Satasanga is where the bhajana, kirtana is going on, glorification of the Lord and spiritual life is going on. All of that is Satsanga. The best of सत्संग इज सत महात्मा पुरुषों के संग में उनके चरण में रहना, उनके इर्द गिर्द ही घूमना है, दूर नहीं जाना. इट हैज ट्रेमेंडस इफेक्ट. इसलिए वी शुड डिजायर टू spend one entire life in a place holy where all Sant Mahatmas stay, and we should get inspired by their lifestyle and ourselves become sadhaka. When we are in the company of the samsarins, bhogi, those vrittis only come. Naturally, you are with them, so that's what inspires. But be in a company of sages and ashram, where the routine way morning, 4:30 onwards till 10, so many spiritual activities are happening. So we get that inspiration and that training. Sangaha Sadbhi is this. And inside also, सद्वस्तु सद्वृत्ति सत्परमात्मा सदगुरु उनके संग में रहना. ओके. आचार्य उपासनम वेद शास्त्रार्थ से विवेकिता सत्कर्मणाम अनुष्ठानम संगः सद्भिः. 4 are over. Fifth one is शुभा गिरः. शुभाः गिरः. No ashubha vani. Basically, every vani where Bhagavan is, there is Shubha vani. Every vani where there is no Bhagavan, me, my ego, the world, the things, beings, my attachment, my bhoga to that. If these are there in our Vani, then it is Ashubha Vani. And we know the relation we studied in our Aitareya Upanishad में शुरू में संबंध भाष्य में डिटेलली देखा हमने. What is in the mind comes through the speech. What we speak, that goes into the mind. You know, the great Shanti mantra. वांग मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य माणेस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्. ओम शांति शांति शांति. फर्स्ट लाइन. वांग में मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो में वाचि प्रतिष्ठिता. There should be integration between mind and Vani, both having one subject only to deal with, that is Paramatma. That's called Shubha Giraha. Shubhagiraha means Amesha Vedak mantra Ucharana we have to do. Purana Itihasa mantra Ucharana we have to do. Stotra Ucharana we have to do. Bhajana Ucharana we have to do. The blessed one, beautiful one is the Bhagavad Nama Ucharana Nirantara, it has to happen. That should percolate into the mana. That mana is never free, lazy, indulgent in the world. God is fully busy in a सुबह उठते ही शुरू होना चाहिए भगवान का नाम हमारे मन में बिना कोई परिश्रम का. That's called a Shubha Giraha practice, the fifth one. The other one is let the whole world come to us in whatever the way it comes, but we respond to it vocally, even mentally or by action in a Shubha Swarupa only. अदर में गिव गाली, वी डिड नॉट गिव गाली. प्रारब्ध है तो मिलेगा गाली ना. तो वी ओनली शुभाग्य रहा. शुभागिरा, ये महात्मा जी, ये महाराज, ये गुरु, ऐसे एड्रेस करो सबको, हे भगवान, जिसको शुभागिरा. You know, that's a Brahmana samskar. Where even a रिक्शा वाला है, अब बेटा महाराज कैसे, कितना हुआ, ऐसे बोलो. टैक्सी वाला भी है, अरे भगवान. Because it's a fact, everyone is Bhagavan only. Practice the satya और fact, we get moksha. झूठ को प्रैक्टिस करो, फंस जाते. There is no car or auto driver. Bhagavan only in the form of that. Example he gave also, he became driver to Arjuna. Interesting. गिरा, शुभ गिरा इज दिस ओनली. दैट शुभ गिरा में कभी भी कोई अपशब्द, दुर्भाषा और किसी को श्राप देना एक कभी नहीं होना है. मनी मन लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु, वाणी से भी कहना. शुभागिरा का अर्थ ये होता है. वाणी तो 4 लेवल में होती है, वैखरी, पश्चिम, मध्यमा, पश्चिंती, परा. सारे स्थाइयों में वाणी का केवल शुभता ही होना, अशुभ नहीं होना. प्लीज रिमेंबर, वेदर इट्स आचार्य उपासनम और वेद शास्त्रार्थस्य विवेकिता और सत्कर्मणाम अनुष्ठानम और सद्भिः संगः और गिरा शुभ, दे वोंट हैपन बाय देमसेल्व्स. अगर वो अपने आप होते हैं तो वो पुण्य पुरुषार्थ प्रारब्ध से होते हैं और वो खत्म हो जाता है. जब प्रारब्ध खत्म होता है तो then they have to be done by us in our interest, by our choice with efforts. जैसे कि पिछले जन्म के पुण्य से मुझे इस जन्म में कोई आचार्य से कुछ समय रहने का फल है, पुण्य फल. तो as long as that is there, I am with Acharya. When the punya phala is over, I go away. But I should not go because I have to learn from him. So it is my conscious effort. So to Veja Shastra Artha Vicharita, सत्कर्मणाम, हमको ना कॉन्शियसली इनको समझकर करना होता है. नॉट दैट दे आर जस्ट हैपनिंग, नो. Once they happen, they will be over if they are happening because of our Purva Janma Punya. So some people in our classes, Purva Janma Punya, so they could attend for some days. That Punya is over and no conscious effort, therefore they stopped. And they are not available for me to or anybody to tell this fact. भैया पुण्य फल से मिला है और इसमें इतने फायदा है कि नहीं. तो then you have to put effort now by overcoming all the odds, inner and mind, outer, and then attend to class, study Shastra. लास्ट लाइफ का पुण्य के कारण इस लाइफ में मुझे थोड़ा साधना अपने आप होना लगा. इन दैट सत्संग भी है, अदर साधनास. बट वन द पुण्य इफेक्ट इज ओवर, दिस विल बी ओवर. अगेन आई हैव टू स्ट्रगल. प्लीज रिमेंबर इट वेल. Struggle and do punya more and more with only this sankalpa that shastra adhyana from the guru, tattva chintana, यही मेरे जिंदगी में होना चाहिए. Okay, so positive things are told what to be done. Then the things to be given up, some of them, स्त्रियालोकालंभ विगमः, स्त्रियालोकालंभ विगमः, सर्वभूतात्मदर्शनम, त्यागः परिग्रहाणांच, जीर्ण काषाय धारणम. Next set of sadhanas given by Yagnavalkya ji in his Smriti Grantha. One, Stri Aloka Alambha Vigamaha. Vigamaha means not moving towards, not approaching, not doing. What? Stri Aloka, Stri Alamba. Aloka is looking at, Alamba is touching. Don't look at, don't touch Stri. कंप्लीट हो गया ना कल. 4 days we studied स्त्री जुगुप्सा वर्णनम, because it creates that kama vikara and all, mind gets distracted. And yesterday finally वही कहा राम जी ने, you know, what a beautiful thing, है ना. स्त्रियम त्यक्त्वा जगत त्यक्तम, जगत त्यक्त्वा सुखी भवेतो. कल का बढ़िया, we made you chant 6 times, no? स्त्रियं त्यक्त्वा जगत् त्यक्तं जगत् त्यक्त्वा सुखी भवेत्. Don't give a chance, that's it. There's no second sadhana required and there possible. Keep away, that's why they used to go to jungle. लोग कहते हैं हाँ क्यों घर में रहकर नहीं कर सकते क्या साधना? टू बी फ्रैंक नहीं कर सकते बस. नहीं मैं कर सक करो फिर कर सके तो. Isn't it? Any bhoga vastus, when they are in the proximity, we tempt to get involved in them. That is why the aparigraha is one of the great sadhana. Not only of the vastus, but the people also. I know one Mahatma, unka phone khali, there's no contacts only. Only 2 numbers he dials. You know, one bhakta, one of another, listen, and one relative. वो नंबर भी उसमें फीड नहीं होता. ही नोज इट बाय हार्ट और कहीं लिखा है, वो जब चाहिए डायल करेगा. अरतिर्जन संसदी कहते हैं उसको. Any human contact is dangerous for sadhana. Danger most is 3, therefore striyam यहाँ लिखा है. Okay. Next, striya aloka alamba vigamaha means what we have to understand from this is our ears and eyes should not be exposed to any of the bhogya vastus. Else, our mana gets the kama vikara. Then we can't do sadhana steadily. Out of sight, out of mind. कोई भी चीज साथ में है तो माइंड में आ जाएगा. दूर रख दिया तो माइंड से निकल जाएगा. विषयाः विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जम बट रसोपि अस्य परम दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते. नेक्स्ट वन स्त्री आलोक आलंब विगमः सर्वभूत आत्मदर्शनम. यू नो जस्ट नो वी सा नो देयर इज नो टैक्सी ड्राइवर, ऑटो ड्राइवर, सब भगवान के स्वरूप है, सब अपने ही आत्म स्वरूप है. मेरे अंदर जो उपाधियों के भीतर शुद्ध सच्चिदात्मा है, सेम थिंग इज देयर इन एवरीवन. दैट लेट अस लुक एट. डोंट लुक एट द जीव भाव एंड द उपाधिज either in us also in others. देखेगा तो उस पर इंपॉर्टेंस बढ़ेगा. Then that creates unnecessary relations and relativity. There are only 2 things. Whoever in front of me is there. Any dharmic vyavahar I have to do with him, that one, then in him only Bhagavan is there. कोई धार्मिक व्यवहार की जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज दैट पर्सन नो रिलेटेड टू मी. भगवान है उसमें बस. लाइक यू आर ट्रैवलिंग इन ट्रेन, you know, there are 3 people. One, your own family member. Second, a person whom you just become familiar to talk. Third, so many people are there whom we don't know, we don't even interact. So person who is related, whatever the relational dharma you do, but in him also Paramatma. The person who is in front, अभी परिचय हुआ, परिचय मात्र ही. कोई ऐसे लेन देन हेल्प करना है तो करो, in him भगवान. What about the other people in the train? 70 people or the entire selling persons come and go. टीटी आता है, फिर हर स्टेशन में लोग चढ़ते हैं उतरते हैं. Whatever they are for others, for me they are sarvabhuta atmadarshan. My own self is there as self in them. The self in them is my own self. One self only expressing there as that individuality, here as this individuality. इसका अभ्यास करना है. अभ्यास. इसका लोअर लेवल मीनिंग है सर्वभूत आत्मदर्शन मीन्स हिज सुख इज अवर सुख, हिज दुख इज अवर दुख. therefore remove his dukha and give him sukha. आत्मा उपम्येन सर्वत्र समम पश्यति यः अर्जुन सुखम वा यदि वा दुखम स योगी परमो. इज a parama yogi. You know, others dukha he sees as his own dukha and removes that. And his sukha discovers other sukha, therefore he gives sukha to others. That is a lower level meaning. Higher is the pure Atman in all. Sarvabhuta Atma Darshana. Next one, त्यागः परिग्रहाणां च अभी देखा हमने. Decide from the age of 50-55, slowly the parigraha त्याग करना है. Bhoga and parigraha go together. When you want bhoga, the parigrahas are collected. When parigrahas are there, you want to involve in them in bhoga. Parigraha means accumulations. So he says, त्यागः परिग्रहाणाम च. No more accumulation. Minimum, bare minimum जो हमको जरूरत है वही होना चाहिए. अदरवाइज उसको मेंटेन करने में टाइम वेस्ट, एनर्जी वेस्ट होता है. एक शुभ मुहूर्त ढूंढ लो 10 दिन का, सारे घर में जो परिग्रह है निकाल के सबको बांट दो, बस मिनिमम रखो. सर्व परित्याग त्याग. भज गोविंद में सर्व परित्याग सर्व परिग्रह भोग त्याग कस्य सुखम न करोति विरागः. The sukha which a viragi gains, nobody gains. And his viraga is sarva parigraha tyaga. Therefore, sarva bhoga tyaga. So, tyagaha sarva parigrahanam. Then next one, जीर्ण काषाय धारण. अरे सब छोड़ दिया तो कपड़ा पहनू क्या? जीर्ण और काषाय धारण. Very old, torn काषाय धारणम, symbol of being a sannyasi. Kaupinavantah. The vastra abhushanadi intensify our sharira tadatmya. The one who got sharira tadatmya alone is interested in these externalities. They go together. Therefore, when we give up and we have only jirna kashaya vasa, sharira tadatmya will reduce. And the one who gives up sharira tadatmya, उसको ढकने के लिए जो कपड़ा है बस उसके वो भी in the social obligation. जीर्ण काषाय धारणम हो गया. Then comes Vishayendriya Samrodha, Tandra Alasya Vivarjanam, Sharira Parisankyanam, Pravrittishu Adarshanam, Agadarshanam. Each of these sadhanas need 10 minutes for me to talk. This sloka. Now you understood why I am going slowly? In that YAGNAVALKYA SMRITI, every sadhana is told to us. When these are all done, Antakarana Shuddhi, with that Jnana Prapti, with that Moksha Prapti. Om, 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 Om. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Param Rishibhyo Param Brahmane Shruti MAATRE तत्सत ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. अब सुनने को मौका मिला हमको. That much fortunate we are. Now they effortfully we have to re-study them, we remember them, then we try to practice them. They are called sadhanas. Whether it is you or me, anybody. किसी को भी साधना नहीं करने से नहीं होता है, करने से होता है. Simple thing, as simple as that.